There's pictures, which you've heard me talk about, are expectations. And I often talk about what's the difference between the expectation and the standard. The expectation, the picture, is what we project onto how another person should live. And the standard is the way in which we choose to live. So I might have a standard, and if we just rank it in terms of a scale from 1 through to 10, a standard in one part of life of the way that I live might be 8. Could be 7, could be 4, it doesn't matter. Just for this example, I'll say it's 8. And that I might have another person that comes into my life in that same part of life, their standard is 5. But the standard is the way they're choosing to live right now, which is a standard quality of 5. And the standard quality that I'm living is a standard quality of 8. But there's a 3-point difference. If I understand that the standard is there for me to live and to keep living that same standard, that automatically offers that person an opportunity to see that there's a difference between the standard of where they're living and the standard of where I'm living. And in their timing, they may choose to shift and change their standard to close the gap. But the expectation is where I often say, don't judge the gap. My standard's at 8, their standard's at 5, there's a gap. If we judge the gap, it's basically saying, I expect you to change your standard to meet my standard now. And that's where there's a lot of conflict that occurs in today's society, because it's based on imposition. It's based on projection. You need to change your standard to meet my standard. That's the expectation. I expect you to change. The standard says, I'm going to live the quality that I choose to live in any element of life. And when I choose to live that standard, I know that it offers the person another opportunity, a reflection to see that there's a higher standard of what they're not yet choosing to live. But it's not an expectation that they change it. It's just an offering to show them that there's a different way. So a standard allows other people to develop higher standards in their own timing, whereas an expectation says, you've got to do it now, you've got to do it on my schedule, and I'm going to impose the way I think you should live life.